Yo, what it is, everybody? Thanks for tuning back in here for another episode here on the Speedbug channel. Today we got a motorcycle video, actually, and it is about the GSX-R 1000. You guys have been asking for some information on this, so let me go ahead and just give you a quick rundown on this. Yeah, I was keeping this in my house for a while. I liked it as a piece of furniture. If you guys checked out my Instagram, you definitely saw that on the old Instagram here. And I liked it in there, but I wasn't riding it, so I decided to move that one out, put the 600 in the house for now, and then ride the 1000. Believe it or not, I do much more enjoy riding the 600 on the street as opposed to riding the 1000. And I said this once before when I was riding the Grom. Just something about, even though twisting the throttle all the way back, even though you can't go that fast, but you're going as fast as you can, and it's funny. But the 1000 is just, at least this one that I've done a little bit of work to. The time you get up into the power band, you have to slam on the brakes because you're in somebody's ass right away. And it accelerates so fast, it almost makes it kind of not fun unless you're in a huge open road or on a racetrack. And the 600 is a little bit more comfortable. It's a little bit more docile. And, the torque isn't there. Now, ask me this question 10 years ago. No question, I would be like, it's 1000 24/7. Now, if I still only had one choice of a bike to get, it's 1000 going to be that absolutely 24/7. But when you have the option of two, the 600, even though I've tuned it, just as I've tuned this one, they all 100% get better gas mileage. The 600 all 100% get better gas mileage than the 1000. And that's kind of nice that even when you are beating on it, it doesn't drink nowhere near the amount of gas as the 1000. Every 100 miles, you kind of have to stop at the gas tank. And if you want to go out for a cruise and stuff like that, you don't have to really worry about, always running to the pump or always trying to look for a gas station, as you kind of have to do with the 1000. Now, granted, I'm not mad at it or anything like that, but it is kind of nice of one less thing to kind of worry about. Another thing, not that Suzuki really has a huge problem with that, but you're talking about a motor that's almost twice the size and displacement as if the 600, it creates a far less amount of heat. So if you do get stuck in the traffic, whether you're with a passenger or not, that also does help. But again, that's kind of why I was riding the 600 a lot more than the 1000. It was just an easier overall bike to ride around town. But then, of course, when I want to go play and talk a little shit and stuff like that, then the 1000 is, oh, my old dog, and I'll never let it down. But I want to give you some reliability, reviews and stuff like that, and just kind of let you know, what's going on with this bike and how many miles that it's got on it, and, and what to look out for, because still a lot of people ask when they watch all my old Ducati videos and stuff like that, hey, which bike should I get? Which one do you recommend? And stuff like that. And to be honest, nothing much has really changed from the last time that I did another review on this. I still have not had one single problem with this bike since I've had it. It's never once been to the dealer, which for more than I could say about my other Ducatis. And I've raced it. I've beat the dog shit out of it. I pretty much do everything I can to enjoy the bike. Not to intentionally break it, because I do maintenance it, and I just run the standard maintenance. That's it. And when I say standard maintenance, I keep my chain lubed religiously. I don't use any of the tacky stuff on it. I personally like WD-40. I clean it. It's a great lubricant, but it doesn't last very long, so you do have to do it pretty much after every ride. Not a big deal to me because I pretty much spit shine my bike. Oil changes, obviously, depending on how hard I'm going to ride the bike and stuff like that. If I'm going to do a lot more cruising, then I'll do, 3,000 miles of in between oil changes. If I'm really going to whoop on it, I'll break it down to maybe 2,000 or 2,500. Specifically so because it is a wet system clutch, and it does share the same casing as the crankcase as it does with the transmission. And, of course, all the clutch dust and stuff like that. So just a little added preventative maintenance with that. But other than that, that's it. That's pretty much it. Brakes are still a factor. I've gone through 2 sets of tires just, from playing. No problems with the throttle. No problems with my clutch. Nothing, absolutely nothing. The bike has been 150% reliable, and I'm not just saying this because I like the GSX-R. As you guys know, when I bought my BMW, and I loved my BMW bike, the black one, and the white one was okay, but I said, if I don't like it, I'm going to sell this joker, and that's exactly what I did, and I didn't like it. Some of you people thought that I bought it for views and stuff like that and whatever, anything else under the sun. Yeah, I'm going to go spend $26,000 to make some dumbass on YouTube happy so I could talk about it. Yeah, okay, absolutely not. Well, if that's the case, well, then I'm the idiot for spending the $26,000 because this bike was 14 grand and I've had absolutely no problems with it. And on day one, I had a problem with that new BMW. So, not to discredit the BMW or anything like that, but what I am going to say is that I've had 6 GSX-Rs in my lifetime, and I've only had one issue with one of them. And the one issue that I had with one of them is simply and only after is when I wrecked it. Other than that, I never had an issue. I bought my first one, that was an 01 or 03, I can't remember, and I remember I bought it with like 10,000 miles. And I sold it with almost 50,000 miles on it, and I never once had an issue with it. Maintenance, and that was it. Chain, tires, oil changes, brake pads, and then at about 40,000-ish miles or so, I replaced the clutch. And I replaced the clutch probably due to me racing with it all the time. But the factory clutch hung out 40+ thousand miles. That's pretty damn good. Now, I'm not going to take any away from this that say Yamaha can't do this, or Honda can't do this, or hell, even Kawasaki. Kawasaki, the Ninja is probably my second most favorite bike. And the new Ninjas are pretty badass. It's nice that the ZX-10 finally got their update with their new stuff. But I still feel that Suzuki has an edge. Now, you could argue and say that, well, Suzuki kind of creates the same shit over and over. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I can say that. But I will also say it's pretty much so perfect or a blank canvas to kind of do whatever it is that you really want to do with it. And there's just no issues or no problems with it. It doesn't overheat. It doesn't do anything. And I just think that it may not be the fastest bike in the world. It may not be the best bike in the world, but I believe it is the best overall bike. I kind of call this, the GSX-R, they call it the king of super bikes or this, that, whatever. Sure, there's a Yamaha that can corner better. There's another bike that is faster in a straight line. Absolutely. I call this bike the Corvette of motorcycles, at least here in America, because there is no car, at least in America. I'm not sure about other places along this country, in other parts around the world, because I know American cars are very expensive outside of America. There is no other car, at least in America, that you can buy that will give you all around best bang for buck performance than a Corvette. And I feel like that is exactly what this bike is. Yes, there are Ferraris that are faster than Corvettes, or Lamborghinis, or ones that want to turn better, or a Koenigsegg, or this, that. Absolutely. Whether they cost more or less, but they're better in one category. The GSX-R is the best bike that crosses all of those categories around with comfort, reliability, fuel economy, and everything else under the sun. So overall, I have to say that still, do I miss my black S1000? Yeah, I miss some of the electronics and stuff like that, but overall, this is now 150% after owning this bike for almost two and a half years, my most favorite bike I have ever owned, and by far the most fun bike I have ever owned, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. And if I was going to go build a straight up race bike, I would literally just go buy another one of these and do everything that I wanted to do. And if I wrecked it or it got stolen, there'd be no question I would replace it with this exact same bike. So you asked me for my scoop. What do I like better? I love the latest generation of the GSX-R. I think it nailed every single thing that it could do under the head. And if you like to tinker and tweak with your bike, there's no question that this is going to be the easiest. The second is probably going to be the Ninja. Third is going to probably be the R1, and then maybe fourth the Honda. Third and fourth place is going to be tied for that. I'm not talking about power. I'm just talking about tinkering and ease, and things like that, cost and other things like that. So But I have not had one single issue with this bike. A lot of people ask, do I have any problems with it? No, not one issue. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you've had some Jigsters. I know some, and not everyone's perfect. Not every single GSX-R is perfect. Not every Corvette is going to be perfect. Not every Lamborghini is going to be perfect. These are man-made machines. And some of them, hey, they're built on Friday and they're built like shit. They want to get out of there. So, but I haven't had one real single issue with this one. And I figured I would share this with you. And I've got, 6,000 or 7,000 miles on this now. Flawless. Absolutely flawless. No hiccups, no nothing. Even when it was factory, no hiccups or anything like that. And the fact that I've modded it and made it even more aggressive and it still has no hiccups, because usually when you mod it, you come with a little bullshit and stuff like that, and I just still haven't had one thing. So that's my quick review on that. 2.5 years going, and I plan to keep this bike probably, to be honest, I have no intention on buying another super bike or anything like that. Maybe another cruiser, a cool cruiser or something like that, but there's nothing that's really sparking my interest at the moment. So I plan on keeping this bike for a while, so 10, 15, 20,000 miles and stuff like that. I'll report that back on you guys and let you kind of know how that goes. But this thing is the shit. Absolutely. So thanks for tuning in to another episode here on the Speedbug channel, and we'll catch another episode with you here soon. Peace out.